everyone to the UPL Season 4, and congratulations to everyone that made it as a coach this season. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the spreadsheet for the season. It is a bit different than the last season, and it also, for anyone that is new to the league, you guys should learn this. Even if you were in the league last season, I do suggest learning it again because it is different. 1, 2, a lot of you guys actually did it wrong last season. I had to clean up a lot of stuff. And it actually is easier for me to continue doing the league when you guys do everything correctly. So there's going to be some timestamps in the description below. So if you guys are looking for a specific section, hopefully you guys can find it there. Otherwise, you're going to have to skim through the video. If you guys have questions afterwards, feel free to ask. My private messages are always open. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. So here, first off, when you open up the spreadsheet, there's the People Involved tab. Completely ignore this tab. It's mainly just a tab. I just need to know who's in the league, who is working, doing whatever, right? Within a couple weeks, I will stop caring about this tab myself. It's mainly just there for me to count everything. I just need to see, is everyone added in, whatever. The second tab is the Rules tab. Everything's a little off because I was working right now, but here is all the rules for the season. We got our regular rules, we got some trading rules, and we got some drafting rules. If you have a question about something, just feel free to ask. The reason that we have this is a lot of people don't follow the rules. I do suggest reading over them because, again, a lot of you are going to unintentionally break the rules. I don't want that to happen to you guys. It's not your fault if, whatever happens. If you're out for a while, you're gonna, be out for a week, you're going on vacation, it shouldn't be your fault that you missed the match and get a DQ. That shouldn't be your fault. If you let us know ahead of time, we'll be caring about it. We can say, oh yeah, just put off the match until you get back. It's fine, we'll give you some extra time, whatever. Because also, it happens so often for whatever reason that people will forfeit. That's actually worse for you. That's worse for your score because it will count as an 06. And then even if you were, doing good, maybe, you got some of their mons out, it doesn't matter. It's going to be an 06 if you forfeit. That means leave the match. And it happens for whatever reason. Next, we've got the Notes tab. This also you guys really don't need. It's mainly for me. Because the way that I have the spreadsheet made is that it works off of formulas and a lot of referencing. So, for example, here we have Matt. I'm going to look at the Schedule tab, where every coach's name appears 16 times because 16 weeks. So here we have Matt's name at 2 and Matt's name at here, and throughout here and here, it's everywhere. So how this works is if it happens, someone needs to leave the league in the middle of the season and we need a replacement. Or someone decides to, for example, just simply change their name. It happens. I'm going to go and just change Matt to Potato for right now. I'll change it back later. But it updates all the Matts to Potato. That's as simple as it works. And this is mainly so that I don't actually have to change every single place where it did say Matt to Potato. So on his tab, standings, schedule, draft, every single thing, I don't have to change it. It automatically changes it by itself so that I don't have. Simple as that. And this works for a lot of things. This video link is for the last season. It'll be updated. So you'll have this video on here as well. Then we have the Tiers tab, so we're going to start getting into drafting discussion now. So here we have all the tabs, all the tiers, with the megas, the ban list, and all the way on this far right here we have the draft order. It's a snake draft, so how it works is we start at Cole, we go 2-bit, one guy, etc. We go all the way down to Gators. Gators then gets 2 picks, and then we start climbing back up, Lucky, Post, and Grubbins, all the way back up to Cole. Gets 2 picks, all the way back down, so on and so forth. That's really how it works. And then what we do next is we have to talk about a few things. Let's talk about some rules when it comes to drafting. So let's go back to our rules tab over here and look at the drafting rules. Rule number 1. Each team will have a total of 11 Pokemon. Drafting from each tiers goes as said below. You must draft 1 Mega Pokemon, 1 Tier 1, 1 Tier 2, 2 Tier 3s, 1 Tier 4, and a Tier 5, which will add up to 600 of your 1,000 points. Then you will have 400 points left to draft 4 more Pokemon. Now, this isn't entirely true because if you draft a Mega Pokemon, that is negative points, and by that I mean in the last 3 Mega Tiers, Mega Tier 4, 3, and 2, you actually get some extra points. You will get either 40, 60, or 80 extra points for those 400 points, which can be pretty useful. So then, if you guys go over points, which I'll talk about a little bit later, we'll have to redo your draft choices. But here, how it works is once you draft your Mon, what is preferred, I understand if like at work and you can't access this, or at school and can't access this, but what is preferred is you look for your name. I'm just going to use one guy. You copy this, you copy that little cell with your abbreviation, and you find the Mon that you drafted, for example, Clefable, and you're going to paste it in. Sometimes it'll do this reference error because the way that formulas work, if you move something, it'll change it. What you might have to do is just not do that, but maybe like that. But what you do want is that the formula inside, because again, if someone changes their name or whatever, or their abbreviation, or we get a different coach, it's preferred that we can just keep it, and we get something like that. And then later we'll change the tier color, so you guys don't touch that at all. You guys did somewhat vote on the tiers, so hopefully they are balanced how you guys want. So change where it says free, essentially, is what I'm trying to get at. Once you drafted your Pokemon, what's more important, because the admins can do the tiers tab, just please know that it might take us a little bit of time to update it before it actually gets updated, so please pay attention to what is drafted and what is not. So here on the draft tab, I'm going to go and mess with one guy's information. Here's what I would very much like for you guys to work on. So what you guys do here is round 1. So each draft, when we go down and up, that's 1 round. So one guy, his first round, he, for example, drafted Clefable. You type in the Pokemon name, and it is worth 180 points. Simple as that. And here we have some fancy dancy formulas. Here it talks about how many points you have remaining, so I'll just get rid of this 180 for now, and it automatically updated. But currently, he doesn't have any Pokemon drafted, so he has 1,000 points and 0 points that he used up. If you are a returning coach, I'll talk about franchising privately to you, but this number could possibly be different. So here, these formulas over here determine whether you drafted a Pokemon from the said tier, the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, or a Mega. Z points also, it'll determine that as well. So if I put in 180, here we no longer have 1,000 points remaining. We have 180 used and 820 remaining. Currently, he is in the points limit, and he still has his 4 extra picks, and he still has his 400 points for extra picks. But here, his tier 1 has now been drafted. So I can continue this, do 120, 100, 60, and 40. Now, it's not going to say yes for everything because you need 2 tier 3s. And again, you don't need to draft in any specific order. We're going to say that he got a negative 40, for example. The points for extras doesn't change. I have to change that manually. It's the points left over for extras that you do want to look at. And then he's going to draft his extra Pokemon. Let's go with a 180, a 60, and now he has 160 points left, and I'm purposely going to get him out on this. Now, this shouldn't be happening. It takes sometimes a minute for it to update, you know, whatever. But, there we go. It's fixed now. Sorry, gotta think. So if this says no, you will have to redo some of your draft. simple as that. And then for the Z captains, as you guys saw on top, it says Z60. How it works is you get 2 Z captains for the season. You're going to announce them at the end of the draft. I'll give you guys like 48 hours, I believe, to announce your 2 Z captains. You have 100 Z points. So how it works is you get 2 Z captains, so you have to pick two of them. It'll be out of the mons that you drafted. You're just going to tell me which 2 that you want for your Z captains. And your points have to add up, so it has to be 100 or less. So I can't do 80 and 60. I can't do 50 and 80. I can do 20 and 80, or 60-40, or 60-20, or 50-40. That's all fine. So, for example, he picks a 50 costing Z captain and 40, and then he'll still have 10. The reason for this system that we're doing it this way this year, or this season, is just because last season I didn't allow trading of Z captains. And I know a lot of people would have liked to do that, so I'm going to be allowing it, but you have to trade their Z points and the tier points. It'll get confusing, but we'll work on it. Don't worry. So all this information will actually get passed to your personal tab, which we will be discussing later. So I want to say that is that for drafting. Now we're going to go on to the schedule. The schedule has 16 weeks. That's how long our season is. And there are 3 different types of matches. We've got divisional matches, inter-conference matches, and outer-conference matches. I will be going over those in a little bit when we're on the standings tab. So what you guys have to do here is you have to put who won the match, the score, and the replay. Preferably, you also are supposed to put the replay in Discord. So maybe you guys can do like the winner puts it onto the spreadsheet and the person that lost puts it onto Discord, or if you don't want to do it that way, just agree who puts it where, just so that you know who put it, and you have to put it in both places. It's more preferred. You guys don't really need to put it in Discord. I know other people just prefer it, will know to watch it if it's on Discord. What I really care for is that it's on this spreadsheet. If it's not, if you guys put it only in Discord and it's not on the spreadsheet, I'm going to say, guys, when are you guys going to do your battle? And you're going to say, no, we already did it. But I'll probably, no, I don't see it on the spreadsheet. You do need to put it on the spreadsheet. So for the winner, if 2-bit wins, you put 2-bit. If Grubbins wins, you put Grubbins. It's pretty self-explanatory. The score is where you might get a little bit confused. How it works is if 2-bit wins with 2 Pokemon left, the score would be 2-0. If Grubbins wins against Gators and Grubbins has 3 Pokemon left, it would be 0-3. So make sure you put the score, the number is the corresponding to which team won. For the replay, you just hyperlink it, so you just click this insert link button, put the link as whatever, so make sure you get the link off of Showdown when it is, after the battle is over. And that's about it. If you guys need more time for a match, like for example, one person was out sick or you guys couldn't, schedule it because of, conflicting schedules that week, one, tell each other. Make sure you're communicating to your opponent for the week. 2, let me know immediately so that I don't, start messaging you guys, hey, where's the battle? You guys are late for the battle, whatever. I will know ahead of time. I will give you guys extra time if you ask. Just let me know. Now for the standings tab, which is probably one of the more confusing tabs on the spreadsheet, so please do pay attention, and if you have questions, again, feel free to ask. It actually works pretty simply. If you win, you add to your winning score. If you lose, you add to your losing score. I'm just going to put 2 there so it's a little bit different. Your win percentage, it's automatically calculated taking these 2 numbers. Your total record, also automatically calculated taking these 2 numbers. I didn't do this last time. So how this works is essentially, if, like I was mentioning, there's 3 different types of battles. There's divisional battles, which is if you battle someone in your division. We have 4 divisions based off of the 4 islands in Alola. And then there's inter-conference matches, which is if you battle someone in the other division that's in your conference. We have 2 conferences with 2 divisions each. And then we have outer conference, so if you battle someone in the other conference. Pretty simple. So this is where it starts getting tricky. So if you have an outer conference match, you do not change the divisional or conference record. You just update your win-losses, your differential, and your win-lose streak. So if Arab battles posted, for example, and loses, you put a 1 there, he lost, whatever. And let's say he lost by 2, it's -2, and the win streak changes to 1 loss. Simple as that. Now let's say the next week Arab has a interconference match against Matt, and he loses again. He lost. It's not a divisional match, it's an interconference. So you put 1 here, and he lost 3-0 this time, for example. So this becomes a 5 because 2 and 3, 5. His win-lose streak is now 2 losses. Then the week after that, Arab has a match against Fat Panda, and this time he wins. So one win. His divisional match record will go up by 1, but a divisional match is also a conference record because your division is inside your conference technically. So this goes up. And let's say he won by 2, so it goes to a 3. And this breaks his streak, so it turns into a 1 win. So if you're at for example, 4 wins, and you lose, it automatically goes to 1 loss. Simple as that. And so you just keep doing this. If you guys get confused at any point about it, just feel free to let me know. I am going to help out. I'm going to be checking everything once in a while. But that shouldn't mean that you guys don't check it, because one of the rules state that you guys need to be updating this stuff. I believe I have it said the Wednesday after the week is over, it should be updated. And in the past, I have kicked someone out for never updating anything. So please make sure you are updating everything, guys. This stuff gets referenced on your tab. So next we're going to talk about your personal tabs, which is one of the last things that we need to talk about. This is just a reference sheet for me. It's something I'm currently working on, but it's not important to you guys. Here is an example of how a coach tab will look like. A better example would actually be this one right here, because it's colored in. It's still not done, but as you guys can see here, your logo is going to go over here, your Pokemon here. You will get to choose a background color, so there's that. So let's go to this one. So I'm going to be messing with this. I'll clean it up afterwards. So anything, all those points things that are calculated on the draft tab, they all get put over here. So that's pretty cool. This should look familiar to all returning coaches, and so should this over here. Everything else has been changed slightly. So first off, we have your coach card, coach info, coach tab, whatever you want to call it. I believe most of the time when I reference it, I call it coach card, coach info card, whatever. So first off, your Showdown name, the name that you go by on Showdown. Your email, this is mainly for me because I have it shared, with 20 people. I'm not going to remember who everyone is. Sometimes even more than 20 if we have assistants. So if you put your email in here, I can know who you are. If there's an issue, because sometimes, you get locked out, I can check what's going on. So there's that. If you have a YouTube channel, you put your link here, you hyperlink it, and just put in the channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, just type in no channel. Simple as that. Contact method. Please note, this should not be your Discord. Again, this should not be your Discord. The reason for this is because we need this, for example, if we're drafting and this happens, we can't contact you on Discord for whatever reason, We want to inform you that it's your turn to draft, so we need to somehow contact you, but we only have your Discord. That's the case. For example, you can put your Twitter on here. So what you would do is type in Twitter, and then you hyperlink your Twitter link. Simple as that. Or maybe you want to put your Skype on here. That's up to you. You put Skype, and then type in your Skype username. Simple as that. Trying to think. What's another thing? only the main ones that pop into my head that people like to use. This is, again, like, it happens, or we're trying to contact you because there's an issue, or whatever. You're not responding on Discord. We need another way to contact you. Simple as that. And then here is a little time zone indicator. Not everyone knows the names of time zones and how many minus, plus, whatever. So I thought it'd be easier if you just converted this. So here I have a sample date and time. Monday, 1 p.m. EST, Eastern time zone. So New York, for example, that's New York's time zone. So if you're someone like me who is in PST, this would be Monday, 10 a.m. PST, and that's exactly what you type. You type in Monday, 10 a.m. PST, something like that. Or just Monday, 10 a.m., whatever. That's fine. And so this is just so that we can figure out, okay, when you say you want our battle to be at 7 p.m., you're talking about 7 p.m. your time, and for me, that's 4 p.m., just so that we understand. Because we've got people from lots of different time zones. I believe we have someone in Australia. We have a lot of people all over the U.S., Canada. We might have someone from Britain. I'm not 100% sure. But we do have people in different time zones, so this is mainly for that. So here we have another reference to the Notes tab. Your logo is going to go here, which is why I was asking for everyone's logos. Your win-losses over here, this whole little section is updated straight from the standings tab that we were just talking about. So there's that. And then time, it's the times that you are free, usually, or when you would prefer to battle. So my preferred day, for example, is Friday. Just use 3-letter abbreviations, or for Thursday, do 4, whatever. And then at, let's say, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. is when I'm free. My backup day that I'm also free is Mondays at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And also I'm free sometimes on Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Just so that hopefully when you guys try to schedule, you look at this, so you're like, okay, maybe one of those times can work. But remember, it's based off of their time zone, not anyone else's. Over here, you guys should recognize this if you're a returning coach, but again, I'm still going to have to go over everything for new coaches, and just because some of you actually did this wrong in the past. So your team roster and the points get updated from the draft tab. Simple as that. If you franchised them on, that'll be your franchise Pokemon will be in here. And so if a Pokemon gets a kill is considered a knockout hit. So if I use Brave Bird and it knocks out the Breloom, for example, that is a kill. If I had Stealth Rocks and someone switched in and they died to that, so hazards, that counts as a kill. If I Toxiced or burned a Pokemon and they get killed from that, that is a kill. If a Pokemon dies from Life Orb or recoil damage, that is not a kill. So I'm going to say that right now. Life Orb, recoil damage, that is not a kill. It happens, people count them. Please make sure you don't. That is just a death on their part. So, you get a Pokemon, get some kills, whatever. And, it dies. You put in the deaths. So currently, total deaths 2, or total deaths 1, total kills 2, and you got the Pokemon's differential at 1. And your total Pokemon differential, get some different stats in here, 5 and 6, or whatever. The differential just goes whatever. GP, GW is another thing that people tend to mix up. GP is your games played, so that is how many games that this Pokemon was brought to. And GW is your games won. How many games was it brought to where you won? And these are actually formulas at the bottom determining if you're doing this all correctly. So by this I mean, I'm going to put in some numbers, and immediately you're going to see some numbers flash on the bottom, right over here. If it is a decimal, that is your hint to you are doing this wrong. It should only be whole numbers. The reason for this is how it works is, here I have 6 numbers, so it realizes, oh, that's 1 week that you've played. And so later I start to change these. And here, there's my 2 weeks that I've played. So if it's not a whole number, I know that you're doing it wrong. Games won, again, is if you brought the Pokemon to a match, maybe it fainted. That's completely fine, but it was still at that match, and you won the match. That counts as a games won. So, you brought the Pokemon in, and again, same thing as before. If you are doing it wrong, it will be a decimal. It will not be a whole number. And this number right here should match to your wins right here. That's a little hint to know if you're doing it right or wrong. So I will be checking that. As for trades, how this works, if you are going to trade, first of all, if you are doing a free agent trade, you message me. If you're trading with another coach, you both need to message one another, confirm it with one another, and then both of you send it to me. That's how I know you're both okay with the trade. Otherwise, I'm not counting it. Or if you send me a screenshot with proof, I'll take that as well. So, trades given and trades received. Make sure you know the difference. Given is you are giving away, and received is the Pokemon that you received. So given, maybe I wanted to trade, I had a Gliscor, maybe I wanted to trade it away, and you put in its score here, maybe Gliscor got 3-2, and it was brought to 2 games, and it never won. And whatever point system it was, point tier, I think it's 180, I can't remember off the top of my head, who I sent it to. If you are trading it to a coach, you put that coach's name here. So, for example, I'm trading it to one guy. Or, if it's a free agency, you just put FA. And the week effective, so trades don't take effect until the week after, unless you do it on the first day of the week. And I'll always announce when the trade is effective in chat. So maybe this is for week 3, something like that. Here you put in the Pokemon that you're receiving. Maybe I'm trading this for a Latios, whatever. And so, because this is from a free agent, it doesn't have any stats. And the week effective should be the same. Or maybe I'm not going for a Latios. Maybe I'm going for a Pokemon that's in 120. So what I'm also doing here is I am also trading away 60 points, for example, and I'll help you guys out on this. It might even be set up on your tabs that you don't even touch it, which may even be better for you. I'll set it up like that anyways, because it's probably easier if I just do this, because it does a little bit confusing. But essentially, you just need to know this is where we document your trades. And you do have a limited amount of trades. As you can see, you get 5 trades and a maximum of 3 free agencies for the season. And for that, it's just a trade with a Pokemon that's no one's drafted yet. Next up is your Pokemon. So here, these look a little bit different if you remember from last season. Last season was just a box, and that's about it. And then below it were the stats over here, if you remember that. I didn't get a chance to update stats after a while. I just got busy, and I couldn't. So I decided to just put them next to the Pokemon. So now I have no excuse, or else the Pokemon will have the incorrect stats. So how it works here, it'll be the name of the Pokemon. So these are just flipped images, as you can tell. Here's going to be the name of the Pokemon. Here goes, I'm either going to do a Cerebi.net picture from the Pokedex, or a Pokemon Shuffle image. I haven't decided yet. If you want to do custom images, talk to me, please. I might allow it, might not. I might do GIFs, I haven't decided yet. Depends. GIFs are just harder to load, so there's that. And if you pronounce it GIF, I'm sorry, but that's how I pronounce it, whatever. Type 1, Type 2 are the Pokemon's typings. If it only has one typing, then Type 2 will just be a straight up dash. The total is the total stats of the Pokemon. Because here we have, whatever amount the base stats are. I'm just putting in some random numbers for you right there. And then, once you have all the Pokemon's stats, here we have a little chart here. It says the total of HP of all your Pokemon, total attack, total defense, whatever, and your overall total. So all these added up. And then it'll return here your best stat. So whatever has the highest number. which in my opinion is a pretty cool thing. But yeah, so there's that. So there is that. You also will get to change your background color. Just talk to me about it later. That's like a last thing type of deal. And then the last thing for returning coaches, if you remember, you had a mini schedule. You do have a mini schedule now, just it's not so mini anymore. Here you have your schedule, and so you have no excuse not to know who you're battling. I announce it in three places. You have the schedule tab, you have your tab, and I announce it on Discord. You have no excuse not to know who you're battling. Simple as that. And also you have no excuse not to know what type of battle, as it says right here. It says on the schedule tab, and I announce what type of battle it is. So you have no excuse not to know which battle it is. And if you need help with standings or anything, again, contact me. Simple as that. The mini schedule is a little bit different than before. Now you have to write down what Pokemon you brought, and so you do this after the battle. Unless you want your opponent to know what Pokemon you're bringing, go ahead. I encourage you, do whatever you want. Type in the 6 Pokemon that you brought, how many kills they got, how many deaths, so that should either be a 1 or a 0, because they either died or didn't. Simple as that. Total kills, total deaths, and your score for that match. Simple as that. It's pretty simple. And also the divisional, outer conference, and inner conference are actually color-coded based off of your division. So, just a cool little thing I did for you guys. So that is that. That's really it for how everything works. Again, you guys probably might have some questions, so feel free to ask me. Good luck to everyone this season. Again, congratulations to everyone who made it as a coach this season. And I hope that all of you enjoy. Thank you so much.